Hello everyone and welcome to another tutorial. Thank you for joining me today. I will be taking this A321. Of course, this is the Toliss A321 with this beautiful livery to Madeira. So today another one of the very famous, a bit more challenging approaches, let's say. So let's have a look at what we're gonna do today. There we go. So we are at the moment in Lisbon, over here in Portugal, and we'll be flying all the way into the Atlantic Ocean to the island of Madeira. Most of you will be familiar with the airport. It's extremely famous. It's perched on a cliff here on the side of the island, and it's very famous for its circling approach. So an approach that takes you all the way here, and then there's a turn 180 degrees. So a classic circling, let's say. But, well, fairly complicated. Now, in real life, the very difficult challenge of Madeira is there's normally of course, you're right in the middle of the ocean, and you're on the coast, so there is extremely strong winds. Let's see. We'll see what this guy is actually planning for us today. Let's see what's going to happen. Yeah, not too bad. No, today is relatively okay. It's only 11 knots of wind, so nothing, not a big concern. Could have been fun to do something a bit more challenging. But yeah, that's about it. That's what we're going to do. So let's start. And as usual, like all my tutorials, bear in mind that you'll have the full video today. The cruise is actually quite long, so I was thinking of not recording the cruise just to make a slightly not such a lengthy video. So I was thinking about getting up in the cruise and then cut the video and start again when I do the briefing before the descent. Probably that's better. I don't think anybody will ever watch the cruise. So as usual, you'll find the timestamps down in the description. So you'll find 3 timestamps mostly. I always put when I program the MCDU in case you want to replicate the exact same flight, and then when we do the briefing, so you understand how we're going to do the procedure and how we prepare for the arrival, and then the approach itself, of course, which is the salient bit. But without further ado, let's get into the cockpit and get on our way. These are approach tutorials, so like I always do, the cold and dark, I'm not going to explain the cold and dark. It's just going to be a very quick and dirty preparation. If you have any questions about cold and dark and etc., please do let me know. Now let's get our checklist. There we go. So let's get the plane running now. Engine masters are off, mode selector in normal, weather radar is off, landing gear is down, and the wipers are off. Perfect. While everything is coming up and the screens are testing, let's get the radios on and load the plane. So today we have 71.2, nice and heavy. $71.2, well, could be worse. And the fuel required is going to be 8 tons. There we go. Screens are tested. Let's do APU fire test. There we go. Let's check the rest. Oxygen, we are good. Hydraulic fluid is good. Engine oil is plenty. We have accumulator pressure. The parking brake is set 1, 2, 3. And we get flaps are 0 and indicating 0, and the spoilers is retracted and disarmed. Perfect. Let's go on the overhead. Crew oxygen supply comes on. Ground control, CVR test. Captain and personnel, aiders. And then we have strobe, nav, seatbelts, no smoking, and emergency lights. Landing elevation auto, crossbleed auto, backflow will leave normal. Fuel pump stays off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. No white lights on the side. Switching to normal. Let's check the QNH here in Lisbon. 1016. Showing 360 feet. Yeah, that's correct. Anti-skid is on. Time, UTC. Oh, actually, time. Now, one particular thing about the approach into Madeira is that there are leading lights on the coast that really help with the maneuver. I would probably imagine they might be visible in real life even during the day, or maybe not. I don't know. I mean, you can follow the coast if the leading lights are not there, but the lighting is really good at the airport, so we might want to try and get there when we can see a little bit of lighting, which means arriving there around just after 7. We're planning on 1 hour and 22 minutes of flight, so we need to be airborne around 5:50. I don't remember if the time zone is the same between Madeira and Portugal, but we need to find that out. Quickly double check. Yeah, it seems to be the same. So if we put 5:50, we need to take off 20 minutes, optimistic, and yeah. There we go. This should work. Otherwise, we'll just change it when we arrive. Perfect. The QNH is set. The time is set. That's all good. Center pedestal, radio, multiscan, GCS, tilt 5, cockpit door. Switching is all normal. 0 off, normal, 0. Parking brake. Gear extension is stored. That goes on. This one goes to above. Perfect. Let's start our setup. There we go. Alternate today is going to be GCTS. Flight number is going to be TAP 1697. And cost index is going to be 5. Cruise flight level 350. And let's align the IRS. Perfect. Flight plan. Departing for runway 03 and arriving 05. Departure 03 via the Gansu 5 November. No transition. And then we're arriving via the Epaka to X2. Now, it's the VOR 05, I would assume. Yeah, it's the VOR DME 5A via the Epaka to X-ray via Abusu. There we go, let's just check it. Yeah, that's the one, MD211. I believe that's final approach, MD211. Yeah, that's the one. Perfect. Okay, while we're here, let's bring up the charts of Lisbon. departure we said is gonna be guns 5 November, guns 5 November. And we're gonna do this one for the secondary flight plan. ILS 03. Okay, that's all we need. And the flight plan is loaded and it's all checked and confirmed. Now, secondary flight plan, copy the active. As usual, we always enter coming back in case of engine failure, LPPT. And we're gonna put ILS 03, no star, no via, and no transition. Let's enter the performance. In case we come back, so in Lisbon, we have now 1016 QNH. Temperature is 16 and wind variable, let's say 340 at 10. 16 340 at 10. The MDA is going to be 529 and next approach 070. So engine out acceleration 7,000. Airport elevation 374, so 1370. Perfect. So secondary plan is done. Rat nav, we'll leave it to auto tune. Init B, we have, let's double check it, 71.2 of zero fuel weight, matching the operational flight plan, so 71.2 and 28.4. Block fuel 8. Let's check the winds. Cruise wind, let's see what this guy says. This guy's giving us a 009 and 69. Yeah, very similar to SimBrief. And once we have the winds in, then we have more accurate predictions for the fuel. So now we can finish the fuel. Contingency is going to be 0.7. Diversion, it's quite far. It's all the way down to the Canary Islands. So that's going to be 2.3. And then the final reserve is going to be 1.2. An extra 300 kilos, so plenty. Okay, that's all good. We can finish the progress page. LPPT 03 coming back here. Optimal 359, cruising at 350. And the performance page. So let's check where we're going to depart. So runway 03 over here. It's fine, we'll take full length. It's not a very long taxiing anyway. Flaps 1, and we're going to do flex temp 56. Engine out acceleration and thrust reduction acceleration is 1370. V1 151, VR 151, and V2 154. Perfect, and that's the MCDU all set and ready. Now let's check all the EFIS and the FCU. So QNH we said 1016 on both sides. Constraint arc 10 here, arc 40 there. In terms of departure, do we need any nav aids there? Yeah, just the VOR is the only one, so we'll just keep the VOR shown there. Perfect. Speed and heading are dashed. Altitude, let's see if there's an ignition altitude on the departure chart. Transition altitude 4,000. MSAs 3,000. Initial climb clearance, flight level 60. There we go, and that's in. Perfect, that's all done. Final checks. Landing elevation 190, and that's correct, matching the plan. Status all normal, and we have the ADIRs all in nav and aligned. So we're good to go. We would ask for clearance now. Get our squawk, and then we can do.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
We can do a bit of a briefing. Just to double check all the entries in the MCDU and everything we've discussed. So today we're gonna fly from Porto to not from Porto, I wish. We're from Lisbon to Madeira. And normal items, nothing for the aircraft to report in terms of threats today on departure. Well, nothing particular in terms of threats over here. They'll all be at once we arrive, the threats. We are at stand 124 over here. We're going to push back. How are we going to do this? Or that way. This way is better. We're going to push back facing north and then Golf 1, cross runway 35, Golf 2, and then taxi down to N2 for runway 03, 3,700 meters, so flaps 1, no problems there. Now over here we have Airbus A321, so beware of tail strike there. It's a Neo, Pratt & Whitney engines, database is current. Init B, Lisbon to Madeira, tap 1697, and we're going to cruise at 350. We have then a zero fuel weight of 71.2, which is there, and we are loaded correct. We have a block fuel of 8.0, and that gives us 300 extra kilos. Flight plan, departing from Lisbon 03 on the Gansu 5 November departure. We're going to do a first right turn above 2,000, climb to 2,000, then right turn, and then oopsie, and then we keep climbing. No speed constraint, only altitude constraint. At Monur above 6,000, we're going to be at 10,000, and the only constraint is 250 below 10,000. The MSA is 3,000, so we're going to clear that very soon. Not something to monitor, and that's it. And initial clear altitude 6,000, which is already flight level 60, because the transition is going to be at 4,000. Good. 542 miles. Yeah, matches the operational flight plan, and 1 hour and 22 minutes. That's bang on the money. Then right now, auto tune prog page. We have the cruise level matches the optimal. We enter coming back performance. We have runway 03 full length, flaps 1, 5-6 flex temp, 151, 151, 154, and thrust reduction acceleration is 1,000 feet above. We're planning to arrive with 4.5 tons, and the plan says 4.1, so we're good there. And secondary flight plan, we've entered coming back, so that's all good. Okay, so we said we're going to push back
Please show me where you want to go.
this way.
Still connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
The Portuguese accent is very good on this better pushback. There we go, before start checklist. So cockpit preparation has been completed by both Baron F1016, and we are showing 360, which is correct. Acres initialized parking brake is parking brake is on. Fuel on board is 8,000 kilos and it's balanced. NEP has been loaded. Flex temp is 56 and speeds 151, 151, 154. Clean speed 230. Let's get the start clearance. Beacon on. Cockpit door locked and TCAS TARA. So before start checklist, below the line signs on an auto. Beacon is on. ATC is on exponder, so TCAS standby showing. Nose wheel steering disconnect is disconnected. Windows and doors are closed and flight deck door is locked. Before start checklist complete, let's get the APU bleed going. External power can be disconnected. Fuel pumps on. And we're ready to go. Let's push. Release parking brake. And we can start the block timer. There we go. Mode selector to start. We have bleed pressure. We can start engine number 2. Let's do dual Q cooling if we're still in time. That's the only tedious thing of the Pratt & Whitney engines. Very long cooling time.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
There we go. Set parking brake.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
There we go. Good start engine number 2 and we can start engine number 1.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
There we go. 2 good engine starts. Let's reset and start the timer for the warm-up time. We are on Neo, so that's only 3 minutes. He's disconnected and he's on his way. So we can do the after start flow. Engine mode selector to normal. We are in Portugal, so we won't be needing engine anti-ice. APU can come off. Ground spoiler armed. Rudder trim is 0. Flaps are going to 1. And the stabilizer trim is going to be 29.2. 29.2, around about there. Perfect. After start checklist, ground crew clearance seen. Anti-ice is off. Flaps 1 plus F green, 1 blue. ABU is off. Yellow electric pump is off, and econ status is checked. Lovely. Let's ask for our taxi clearance. We said we're going to turn left there, cross the runway, and that way. So runway turn off, nose taxi. We have all the doors closed and slides armed. Clear left, clear right, and release the parking brake. Brake check, and pressure stays on 0, which is good. About to cross a runway, so we'll put the strobe on. Clear left, clear right, nothing on TCAS. Put the strobes back to auto. And let's do some flight controls check. Full up, full down, neutral, full left. Don't know why it activates there, but full left, full right, neutral. And then full left, full right, neutral. All good. We can do weather radar on, system 1, PWS on auto, and TCAS TARA. Terrain on and ND for the first officer, and also brake max. So to recap departure, yeah, we're heading the right way. So we're going to depart from runway 03. And we're going to be on the Gansu 5 November right turn, above 2000 right turn. And then right turn to Gansu. Transition altitude is 4000. Initial stop is 6000. And that's it. We'll can start the autopilot straight after departure above 100 feet. So we'll do the first turn on autopilot. Perfect. Now before takeoff checklist, flight controls have been checked. TCAS is TRA. We're showing TA only on the ND. Load sheet has been acknowledged. Trims 29.2 and 0. Departure brief has been confirmed. Takeoff data, we have performance from runway 03 full shift, and takeoff data is 151 blue, 154 magenta, climb nav blue, 152 6000, and flex temp 56. Flaps is 1 plus F green and 1 blue. And ECAM memo. Takeoff no blue. There we go. As we said, November 2 for runway 03. Let's get our takeoff clearance, strobe on, landing lights on, nose to take off, and packs off. And let's ping the cabin crew. There we go. Before takeoff checklist below the line, takeoff runway 03 confirmed, cabin crew signal has been given, and packs are off. Warm up time, we're at 5 minutes and 40 seconds, so engines are nice and warm, and brake temperature is good below 150. There we go, spool them up, 50%. Takeoff. It's a Neo, so we should have input the stabilizer trim in the MCDU, but it's not a problem, it's correct. So Manflex 56, SRS runway auto thrust blue. Takeoff thrust is set. 100 knots checked. V1, rotate. Positive climb, gear up. Autopilot 1. That's the marker. Lever climb. We have now wait for positive speed, and we go thrust climb, climb alt blue, 6000 auto thrust. We can put the packs back on. And off we go to Madeira. Above S speed, flaps 0. Ground spoilers disarmed, and lights can come off. After takeoff checklist, landing gear is up, ECAM is checked, and standard. Yeah, we're climbing about 4000, so we can set standard set, and cross checked. Let's clear ourselves to wherever we need to go. That we said was 350 today. 350, so we are alt blue, flight level 350. Flight level 100, climbing flight level 350, standard set. We can then check the lights, they're all off. Seatbelts can come off, is stable enough. And the weather is good. We have standard set. Here we can put airport. We can now go to 80 miles. ECAM is all clear, and then MCDU we do. Right nav is not is auto-tuned. Climb correct, 350 still matches the optimal. We're gonna put the arrival LPMA 05. Fuel prediction 4.7, even more. 4.1 was on the plan, and secondly for the plan we can now copy the active, and that's all done. Everything looks nice and stable, so no need to really wait for top of climb at this point. I will just skip ahead now, and I'll see you in a second when I'll be just before top of descent. See you in a moment. Okay, we're now 120 miles from top of descent. Let's start preparing and briefing for the arrival. Now, have a look at the chart. Actually, you know what? It's probably better having a look at the chart. On Navigraph, it should be a bit more clear. initial approach, final approach, and VOR. Okay, so first of all, let's have a look at the MCDU and checking that the arrival is all coded in correctly. There we go. Let's get rid of this. Let's get LPMA. We're going to need the arrival. We said it's going to be the EPAC 2. X-ray. There we go. And then we're going to need the approach. So the 13.1, so this is the 10-2C. Then we're going to need the 13-1, which is the circling VOR initial approach. Then we're going to need the circling VOR final approach, and finally the VOR visual approach runway 05. So 13-1, 13-1A, and 13-1B. Perfect. In terms of arrival, top of climb is going to be here. We're going to lose 5,000 feet in 14 miles, and that's good. We're going to lose then 13. We need 39 to lose that, and it's going to be 54. That's good. 7,000 in 29, always the rule of 3, so that works. 1,000 in 7 miles, so we have an extra 6 miles, but we're slowing down. And then we're losing 2,400 in 10, 1,000 in 5, 500 in 5. Yeah, that's a nice plan there. Now the way it's going to work, we have Porto Santo. So where are we coming from? The first point is going to be Epaka. Then we're going to Mike Alpha 650, Mike Alpha 652, Mike Alpha 654. There's no constraints or anything there. Then Abusu, which is over here, and then Funchal. So we're going to be on the VOR at 2080. The constraint there is above 1430, so that's good. (2080), and then there we go. Yeah, we're not going to need this one, as we're coming via the Abusu, and then Abusu, and then we're going into Foxtrot Delta 211. Yeah, Funchal, as we said, and then we have the missed approach point, which is going to be here, Mike Delta 211. Perfect. 940 there, and that's 940. That's all correct. So let's have a look at the charts a little bit. Larger charts in Navigraph. There we go. So what we have here, so this is the initial approach. This is all going to be flown in nav. That's all going to be automatic. Funchal, we said we're going to be at 2080, and then from there we have 3.6 miles to slow down and to descend to 940. So actually, let's see, because I need to see the FNC as well, so the MCDU. So let's do that. There we go. So Funchal, we're going to be at 2080. Then we need to lose 1,100 in 3.6 miles. So that means we're not going to have time to decelerate. We're going to have to be at flaps 2 already at Funchal. There's no speed constraints, but we want to take this, as usual, like all these difficult approaches, we want to be stable early. We're going to have to do a lot of manual flying and etc. So we want to configure early. Now, I would say that we're planning to be at Abuso at 164. That's even a little bit too early. There's probably no need to do that. But between Abuso and Funchal, we're losing 2,600. So we need 7.5 miles, and we have exactly that. So yeah, no, actually, we're not going to be able to slow down. So we want to be probably at S speed already at Abuso. So if we look here, especially because we're on an A321, so we're going to be a heavyweight. S speed is 211. Okay, so we want to be able to put flaps 2 after Abuso, which means at Abuso we're going to have to be already at flaps 1, but definitely at S speed. So clean speed is going to be 226. Put flaps 1 down, we slow down to 211. And then anywhere after Abuso, we want to put flaps 2. Okay, then we'll manage flaps 3 and gear down based on how we're decelerating. Yeah, perfect. So quite a bit before Abuso, we'll put flaps 1 down. We'll start decelerating towards S speed. We'll make decision of when. I would say we might even go as far as putting flaps 2 just before Abuso. So we take it with all the time we need. Flaps 2 before Abuso, and then we'll consider gear down and flaps 3. By the time we pass Funchal, we have only 3.6 miles, so definitely we want to be gear down and flaps 3 at Funchal. We'll keep going down to 940. So you see you don't have the altitude there, but the altitude is here, indicated here. The minimum for the approach is 940. So we're gonna want to be at 940 at the map, which is the missed approach point here, which is the last point of the plan in the MCDU here, MD211. That's going to be the missed approach point, and everything else after that is going to be manual. Now, let's have a look at how this appears here. Yeah, you can see the missed approach point, and then the missed approach procedure starts from there. Now, if we have a look at this chart, that's what's going to happen after the missed approach point. So we'll keep flying on the same heading. So before arriving at the map, we're going to go in track FBA, pull the heading knob, and we're going to continue on this track. Then a 6 DME from Funchal. I guess that's, yeah, from Funchal. We're going to start the turn. Now we need to be at 850 at Gelo, so in all this turn, well, in all this time, from here to here, we're losing only 90 feet. So that the descent is gonna be, well, to lose 90 feet, you need 0.3 miles. So the descent is gonna be right before Gelo, so we'll keep level for the whole time, just right up to Gelo. Let's see if we can add these points for a little bit more situational awareness. This one, Gelo and Rosario, might be good if it lets us put them in. Now, first of all, let's see, 40 miles from top of descent. So let's quickly fill in the performance page, the approach phase. Let's have a look. LPMA, we have 1020. Put it in the standby. We can preset it here. So then we just need to pull and it's ready. So 1020. The temperature is going to be 18. And the winds 010 at 7. MDA we said is going to be 940, 940. And then for the go around, the elevation airport is 191, so 1190, 1190. And the missed approach will be on this chart. Missed approach is 3000. There we go, that's all entered. Now let's see if we can do that thing and add those points. Of course, we're not going to be using them. I want to draw on the ND these points, and we won't use them to navigate, but a bit more for situational awareness, especially considering that I've been there only once before. Let's see if that's possible. So this one will be a custom waypoint from Funchal. So let's put FUN, then slash radial 211 slash 6.0. We'll put that before the runway. And there we have it. Perfect. Now before that, oh, that's come before the missed approach point. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can do for that. That's weird. That is strange. Is there any other way that I can put it? No, I cannot create a fixed info for that. What if I put it there? Now, Fun 211 6. November 211 6. At that point, it would be after the airport. There's no way to put it between those two. What happens if I put it there? Then it would be part of the missed approach. Yeah, no, that's not good. Okay, that's weird. I'm sure there would be a way to put it. What we can do, let's see if it works this way. If we do a secondary flight plan, let's do this. Let's do a secondary flight plan. Copy the active. Then we try and change the arrival. Also, before we do that, let's make sure we descend. There we go. We do a minus descent, alt blue, flight level 100. Good. Okay, what if we do secondary flight plan with arrival just on runway 05 via the EPAC 2X. That's it. Then from Abuzu, it is going directly to the center fix. Okay, so let's put after Abuzu MD211. Let's see if that is, Yes, that is coded. Okay, MD211, and we have it. And then after MD211, we said we were going to do this one. So Foxtrot Uniform November 211 6. Yeah, that's correct. And after that, we're going to put our Jello. And after Jello, we're going to put Rosario. Formatero. It's called Rosario. How can it be Formatero? Probably is not recognizing that. Might not be an actual waypoint, but it would be good enough already. Yeah, no, that doesn't take it, but it's fine. It's good enough at this point. Perfect. That's basically what we're going to do, but we will overfly Jello. So let's see if you can put that. Yeah, we're going to be slow, so the turn is going to be better than that. Perfect. We have a little bit of a situational awareness in case we want to use the second flight plan, but it is going to be very straightforward. So we said that 940, we're going to be already level here. We'll keep 940. Here we'll activate the track, so we'll pull the heading button, keep going. 940 will be at that point already geared down, flaps 3. We're going to be at the final F speed, and then at 6.0 DME, so we need to make sure we have that displayed. So hard-tuned Funchal is already there, but whenever we need to make sure, whenever we really depend on it, we'll hard-tune it so we know it's not going to change. We'll use that, we'll display the VOR, and that will be down here. Perfect. That's all good. Let's have a look at the airport chart. Landing on 05, 2,700 meters, so plenty of space. We'll use auto brake low. Well, let's use auto brake medium and try not to backtrack. Just for the sake of the video, if you were in a turnaround, you very, very rarely use auto brake medium because they warm up, they heat the brakes way too much. And if you are in a turnaround and you need to go back in 40-45 minutes, sometimes even as low as 30 minutes, then it is a big issue having to deal with very hot brakes. So auto brake mediums is used very rarely. But we're in the sim today. We can park and go for lunch. We don't need to turn around the aircraft. Perfect. Just to recap, 112, that's the Funchal, MDA 940. Of course, we need to be extremely careful with terrain, but will be visual. In terms of weather, it's pretty good in Madeira. We're scattered at 1,500 and broken at 3,000. So visibility shouldn't be an issue. So Abuso here is planning to be at 3,000. FD at 3,000. Now the plane is actually coded what it says here from 7 DME down to 3.6. It should be a 2.1 degrees descent, but it hasn't coded that, so it's actually planning to be at 4,300 instead of 3,000. So it's going to do a 3 degrees descent. That's why it's already so slow at Abuzu, because on a 3 degrees descent, there's not much space to slow down. What we could do to make it a little bit more comfortable, that will increase the descent that we need now, but it's better to recover it now than later. We could say that at Abuzu, we want to be at 3,000 instead of putting 3,000 plus. So we could comfortably fly in this way and put flaps down a little earlier. Or we can say at Abuzu we want to be at 3,000. As you can see now, it's requiring a steeper descent. You can see the green dot that is going down. So we can use a little bit of spoilers now to catch up on that steeper profile. And at this point, as you can see, Abuzu now is commanding 180, so a bit faster than it was before. Then from FD to 11 is 3000. And then we're going down to Funchal. At this point, we're losing 1,000 feet in 7 miles. So we definitely have a little bit more leeway in terms of slowing down. There we are. We can store the spoilers and we're good. To keep an eye on the speed, as you can see, with the upper limit of the brackets, so we might start being a little bit high on profile. Just keep it monitored. Transition level is by ATC, but transition altitude is 5,000, so we'll use that. Oh, in the meantime, while we have time to play, well, let's first clear ourselves to, let's say, 7,000. Let's see on the second floor plan. We might be able to create Rosario because we know that Rosario is 1.1 miles from threshold. Well, this one wouldn't be extremely precise, but let's try it that way. If we say 049, so reciprocal is 229, let's try this. Again, this is definitely not a real world procedure. It's just something that I'm doing more for fun than anything else, but just to have a bit more awareness there. Let's say if we, I don't know if you can create a point from the threshold. You probably can. LPMA 05, 229, and 1.1. Ah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't really want to create that point. It's fine. We'll leave it without. We're approaching 10,000 feet. We have our magenta dot there, so we're going to slow to 250 before descending below 10,000. Decelerating. The profile is above us, so we're good. Put seatbelts on. Constraint. We're not going to need ILS today. These are on the VOR, so that's good. MCDU, we have already entered all the performance. Let's just double check the 80s hasn't changed. No, that's still the same. Right now, we hard-tuned the VOR. Fuel prediction 4.9, plenty of fuel. And second for the plan, we've entered what we need for the final bit of navigation. If you wanted as well to help further with some situational awareness, you could as well then create a fix for the center line. So LPMA, oops. From the threshold, we said 229. And that's going to give us the extended center line. Since we canceled the center fix on the actual plan. We got a little high on profile. We are 390 feet high. Let's use a little bit of spoilers. Clear ourselves to 3000. And we're going to put QNH 1020. So we have Alt Blue 3000 QNH 1020. We're back on profile. Let's wait to be at 250. Now we can take the spoil back down. one thing to always keep in mind, when you have the spoiler out, be careful, because if you're on minus descent, the plane will do anything it needs to stay on the profile. So if during the descent you can hear the engine spooling up like here, that tells you that you left your speed brake out and the plane is trying to stay on profile. It wouldn't happen if you were on open descent. As you can see, in open descent, the plane will always keep full idle and will just descend faster if you have the speed brake. But if you're on minus descent, it will prioritize the profile. So he's planning to activate the approach phase soon. At the next point, we'll already be below green dot, so we can activate the approach phase now manually. And we have the QNH, so we can do an approach checklist. What's the temperature outside? 17.9. Yeah, there's no need for anti-ice, it's fine. And we're out of the clouds anyway. So approach checklist, decam status is checked, approach brief for 05 confirmed, minima 940 baro set, approach phase is active, and baro ref is 1020 set and cross-checked. And we can see already the airport. This is not default scenery. I have ortho scenery and a freeware airport for the area. For best results, it's better to have all pilot HD mesh for the area, because otherwise the area of the airport looks really funny and the roads are on a cliff. It's not really good. Okay, let's go flaps 1 now. And let's clear ourselves to descend further. So the plan here, it was saying from FD211 to descend at 2.1 to be leveled off just before the map. So we can do that. We stay at 3000 as planned, and then F211, FD211, let's go track FPA, let's do 2.2 and 0.3 miles before FD211 we pulled, sorry. And now FPA minus 2.2 from Foxtrot Delta to 11 here. So we're doing exactly what's coded and what's displayed here on the chart. Let's put flaps 2 now. Well, we are on at 2.2 degrees, so we're not going to pick up speed. We're good. But let's put flaps 2 down now. $2,500, and it matches the barrel as we are over water, and that tells us that if these two match, they're within 20 feet from each other, we have the correct QNH. The checks are here. From the DME, we are 3 DME, we should be at 2,100, and we are 2,120. So we're good. 2 miles, and we should be 1880. 2 miles, 1920. We're 40 feet high, so we increase by 0.4 degrees for 1 mile, and we should recover that profile. At 1 mile, we should be 1650. 1 mile, 1650. We can go back to 2.2.
Terrain.
Let's cancel this one. Want to make sure we don't level off at 1000 actually, so let's put a higher altitude so we can continue going down. We can go gear down and flaps full now. Then we want to level off at 940.
100 above.
So 100 above.
1000.
We can push FBA now and level off at 940.
Minimum.
We're at minimums, we're visual, we can continue. The airport is just over there. We are now at gear down, flaps 3, so we can arm the spoilers, set all the lights on, and we can now pull the heading, so we'll go on track. Cancel the flight directors and go manual. Disconnect autopilot. I have control. Let's keep 940 and we keep going this heading up to 6 DME. And at 6 DME we start the turn. These are minimum altitudes, so we need to make sure that we respect that. We can activate the secondary flight plan. There we go. 6 DME coming up now, and let's start the turn. Let's go flaps full now, so we have that out of the way. It would be, of course, a lot better to be on the right-hand seat in this case, but we'll make do. Those are the leading lights, so we need to follow. This is a little promontory there, so what we would do, we would follow exactly the coast, even if the lights are part of the scenery that I've installed. Otherwise, you just follow the coast. So make sure we're not below 850, so we keep there. And then if you have the lights, follow the lights, otherwise follow the coast. Then after Gelo we can descend to 460 at Rosario. Can we see the puppies? Yeah, 2 red, 2 white, so we can go down 3 degrees. There's a bit of wind, but we're good.
500.
There we go. Keep going down 3 degrees. And be careful because there's a fairly generous upslope on the runway, so the flare needs to take that into consideration.
300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10.
There we go. Be careful with that upslope. And we're good. Auto brake, spoilers, reverse green. Manual braking, slow the reverser. And welcome to Funchal. Beautiful island of Madeira, responsible for making one of my favorite wines. There we go, we'll exit here. And I really want to see this replay. Ground spoiler disarmed. Let's go. Strobes off, landing lights off. Let's start the APU already. Flaps up. Weather radar is off, PWS off, TCAS exponder. After landing checklist, we have exterior lights are set. Flaps 0. Ground spoiler is disarmed. APU is started. Radar PWS is off and TCAS is exponder showing standby. The landing checklist complete. Where are we going to go and park? Let's go to the terminal. Was the brake temperature 360? Let's put some brake fan on. Accumulator pressure is in the green. You can turn the lights off before we turn on to stand. Do we have marshals here? Let's see if they work. No, too much fiddling with explain. I broke a few things here and there probably. There we go. Set the parking brake. APU is available and engines can come off. Cockpit door unlocked. Seatbelt is off. Beacon is off. Fuel pumps off. And TCAS 2000. So parking checklist. Parking brake is on. Engines are off. Slides are disarmed. The last two are coming out now. Beacon is off. Seatbelts off. Fuel pump 6 off. And ATC is 2000 and standby. That's fantastic. Very warm welcome to Madeira. There we go. As I was mentioning, if you didn't have the HD mesh, this would be a lot worse. This one is already, you can see banked, but it would be literally on the side of the cliff. So getting the Alpilot HD Max really mesh really helps, especially on this area. There would be here it wouldn't look okay. This part would be a lot higher than the runway. So I highly recommend that. Okay, there we go. So another approach. Once again, I really hope you've enjoyed it. Have fun with this one. If you have any questions about the scenery I've used and etc., feel free to ask, and I'll direct you where needed. Thank you very much once again for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed it. Like and subscribe if you did. There's plenty more videos will come out in the future, so stay tuned. And now let's have a look at the replay. But for now, thanks again and bye now. See you next time.